Testing, testing, testing. A lot of you want to know, can I just go out and buy a nice progesterone cream and start using it without testing? Well, the answer is yes. Let's talk. The issue of measuring hormone levels is controversial. Why? Because a woman's hormones fluctuate so much during the perimenopause and menopause periods that the results of the tests are often useless. If you go to a doctor for bioidentical hormones, the doctor can use your symptoms to fix or adjust your dose. However, they often want to test. Doctors are used to testing, and this gets expensive for you. If you're using an over-the-counter product, as I do, and you know progesterone is available over-the-counter, the same exact progesterone a doctor would give you, you can get over-the-counter. If you're using an over-the-counter product, you can find the level that gives you the most relief from your symptoms. Then you don't need to test. There's a problem with testing. The hormones change dramatically from day to day and certainly month to month. And the symptoms are the real measurement of what's going on in your body. I have not found any widespread support of constantly measuring a woman's hormone levels during menopause and peri. When I asked my own doctor to do a hormone panel, because I wanted to see what he would say, he preferred to instead inquire about my symptoms. He said, "It's too expensive for you, Barbara, and it really won't give me any definitive data." I love that guy. The reason so many women become militant about checking levels is they feel awful and they want help, number one. Number two, we've become accustomed to being tested. That's because we've all had experiences in our life where a doctor checked our blood levels for something, made a diagnosis, prescribed a medication, and we got better. So we take that experience with us when we enter the often difficult time of menopause. So consequently, we may end up spending $100 to $600 for blood tests and not know much more than what our hormones were doing on that particular day. Without testing, you can simply begin using natural progesterone according to the directions for a menstruating or a non-menstruating woman. The strength of 40 milligrams a day is what your body normally makes when you're young and in your prime. It's a normal dose. At this strength, you won't unbalance yourself, so testing can be skipped. I've been using creams for almost 30 years, and I just go by my symptoms. Now, I was offered free testing twice, so I went for it, and both times my hormones were spot on. And I knew they would be because I felt so good. But let me say this, testing is fine if you want it and you can afford it. And if you take mega doses of anything, like estrogen, testosterone, DHEA, like the big high doses, testing will keep you from becoming overloaded. But I simply take normal physiologic doses, so I don't routinely test. Now, if you do want to test, saliva or urine is the way to go if you're using transdermal hormones. I've tried them on your behalf, and I vote for saliva. Now, most conventional doctors always order a serum blood test, and it's drawn from a vein in your arm. This measures the hormones that are present in the watery part of the blood that's known as serum. But only about 1 to 5% of a transdermal hormone that you use through the skin will show up in the serum. You'll have bioavailable hormones that are leaving the blood and entering the cells, so they're not in the blood anymore. So your blood reading will not be accurate. Then your doctor might say, "Oh, these transdermal hormones are not working. They're not raising your levels," because they've tested blood. What kind of testing? I already told you. Number one, saliva, because the bioidentical hormones go into our tissue and they make their way into the saliva. You simply spit into a tube. Is there another word for spit? I couldn't think of one. And you send the results to the lab. You can actually order a test mailed to your home, and then you mail it back, and you'll get your tests back directly to you without a doctor in the middle. The second option is a capillary blood spot, because the bioavailables will show up in your capillaries. So all you have to do is prick the end of your finger, and they send you a slide, and you swipe it on the slide and mail it back. Did you know most doctors are unaware of this option? The third option is urine, but you have to collect your urine for a 24-hour period. I tried it. It's not my favorite memory, but it does work. Now remember, when you do get your results, there's a big range. You might say the normal is from 10 to 110. Well, I don't want to be normal. I want to be high normal. So let your doctor know that. In conclusion, I think a lot of you could save a lot of money on testing by just going by your symptoms. Remember, there was a time when there were no labs and blood work wasn't done. Doctors just diagnosed by symptoms. Here's a story. I had one woman, she spent $450 on tests. So she had to then go back to the doctor for another visit that she had to pay for. He looked at her and said, "Jane, you're in menopause." Well, she already knew. Her period had stopped a year ago. She said to me, "Barbara, wow, how's that for a waste of money?" So, okay, ladies, if you're using transdermal hormones and you want to be tested, you're going to ask for saliva or blood spot, which is the capillaries. And if you're using nothing or you're using synthetics, then blood will give you a proper result. But I hope that's not you. Email me if you have questions. I'm your advocate, and I can tell you a great lab that'll send the test right to your house.